Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is Weather Weekly on February 23rd, a Wednesday, 2022, as we gear up for another winter system here. If you joined us on the podcast, we were talking a little bit about this kind of multi-wave system that's coming through. There's a few changes that we're going to kind of walk you through after a very soggy but mild Tuesday. The first 2 days did produce 60-degree temperatures. Much colder here for your Wednesday. We only expect highs in the 30s, and things start to ramp up a little bit with some winter weather coming our way Wednesday night. And then again, heading into Thursday, and all modes of precip are in play. Some snow, some sleet, even some freezing rain, and for some of you, just an all-rain event. We're going to time out this winter system for your Wednesday and Thursday. That's coming up here on Snow Talk, Weather Weekly, right after this.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Episode number 54 of Weather Weekly, and the date is February 23rd, a Wednesday, 2022. It's another Snow Talk edition of Weather Weekly as we have another winter system that is heading our way, starting for your Wednesday night. And again, on Thursday, there's going to be another two-wave system that's going to be heading our way. Now, I'll say this, as we're recording this at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, there are no winter weather products. And what I mean by that, no advisories, no watches, no warnings out. And I kind of briefly touched on this if you listen to the Snow Talk version of the podcast yesterday on Tuesday, that there were some signs that this system may be, I don't want to say weakening because I still think it's going to pack a punch, maybe pulling in some warmer air. It really gets its act together more winter weather-wise for ice and snow out toward New England. And I think that's where you're going to get a good thump of snow accumulations here for probably Friday into Saturday. But here, I think we're going to still have our host of issues. So timing wise, I don't see this playing out much different than what we kind of talked about yesterday. As we look to the timeline here, again, with kind of this first wave, and I should preface this by saying this is going to be kind of a big event for our friends down in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and even southern Illinois. You look at the national weather map here, there are winter storm warnings out for basically the eastern half of Oklahoma, the northern half of Arkansas, the southern part of Missouri, and just the southern tip of Illinois. And the warnings aren't for snow. It's going to be for ice accumulation. There's some fear of power outages in some of those areas with a significant ice storm that's going to be coming through. Now, this is going to impact us later this evening, and this will be the first wave that comes through. Some of the projections that we've been looking at has this arriving as early as dinner time. Some of the more recent model runs that I've been looking at have been saying maybe a little bit later. It's also been pushing slightly warmer air and leaning more towards sleet around central Indiana with maybe a freezing rain event down along the Ohio River. I think it's fairly brief that we're going to be dealing with maybe some of this icy conditions. I don't think it's going to be a significant issue. Some of our projections that we were looking at this morning on Daybreak, at least our in-house projections, were saying a little bit more on the snow side, but even then it was going to be less than 1 inch of snowfall accumulation out of that here for tonight, and would be long gone before we hit daybreak on Thursday morning. So worst case scenario, you have maybe a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of snow. Certainly could be enough to slick up the roads if you're going to be doing some traveling here for your Thursday or Wednesday evening rather. But I'm not overly concerned with major impacts there. My probably biggest concern if you're listening us statewide is going to be southern Indiana, where you could have some ice to deal with. All right. Now, rolling into your Thursday, this is where more of the robust part of the system is going to come in. And like the last couple of weeks that we've had, the last few systems, we kind of split the state in half. I-70 seems to be that dividing line. And I think we're going to kind of have some bouts of freezing rain and sleet along central Indiana. I think it's all snow for northern parts of the state and all rain along the Ohio River. By Friday morning, we may have some lingering leftover snow showers, but really the bulk of any accumulation that we end up seeing is likely going to be probably through that Thursday, specifically Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening time frame here. So the totals that we're going with, they're not incredibly high here. So I don't think this is going to be a real high impact storm system. What I am concerned with is the Thursday afternoon drive, because I do fear that is going to be messy as we kind of go through the mid and late afternoon hours. You're going to have a whole host of variety of precipitation, from freezing rain to sleet to snow. And so I think that could mess up the roads quite a bit. The steadiest snow will be in the northern third of the state. And so I'm going 3 to 5 inches. That's basically from Lafayette to Kokomo to Marion line and north, all the way to the Michigan state line. Okay. Around the I-70 corridor, where it may be more sleet and maybe some bouts of freezing rain, but we'll throw a little bit of snow in there as well. We may see as high as 1 to 3 inches. I think the closer you are to I-70, the lower your snow total will be. So we may only get up to around an inch of snowfall, and that's including what we pick up for Wednesday night as well. All right. So it's a combo factor. So we're probably leaning more on the sleet and freezing rain side for Thursday. But again, that's going to come through the evening drive. So it's just not going to be a real fun drive there. And then south of I-70, I've got you less than an inch. And again, a lot of that's probably going to come from Wednesday night. Not much snow accumulation on Thursday. So we'll see if there's any advisories out. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think it's going to be enough to warrant a winter storm warning for central Indiana in terms of freezing rain. I think we get a glazing, maybe. I don't think we'll see a warning issued. However, advisories are issued, and that's not always because of snow amount. It can be impact to travel. And because the timing of this more robust wave where you're going to have more moisture, and so you'll have heavier precipitation, whether that be sleet or freezing rain or maybe even some snow, or you're going to have some switching back between the three of those, certainly could warrant an advisory because of it happening during the Thursday evening commute. And so that could create some problems there. Not the biggest system that we've had, but definitely want to press home the problems that it could create for the Thursday evening drive. So just be ready for that. Be on guard for that. I think Thursday morning, you're probably going to be okay. It's just kind of the Thursday evening that we're mostly concerned with as of right now. I will say that there could be a few light snow showers around Thursday morning, so I don't want to throw complete caution to the wind, but any light accumulation we pick up late tonight into Thursday morning, I think you're going to have plenty of time for crews to probably treat that and melt that off on some of the main roads. So we're probably going to be okay Thursday morning. Just be ready for Thursday evening to be a little bit messy. But the question also is, how's the rest of the work week looking? Friday and into the weekend, we'll have that full 8-day forecast and beyond coming up next here on Weather Weekly. Here's a look at your extended forecast as we head through the rest of the week. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on this winter system here for your Thursday. We do dry out, though, I think, starting on Friday. A lot of cloud cover. There could be a few light snow showers kind of in the wake of this system on Friday, but I don't really think it amounts to a whole lot here. Temperatures just kind of hold steady. We'll be in the mid-30s, and I think that will carry over not only for Friday, but into Saturday as well. Both days for this weekend, I do believe, will be on the dry end of things. But we do see a nice warm up as we kind of roll into your Sunday. I've got us near 40 degrees as we head into Sunday, and then a bit of a setback on Monday. I'm not going to go as aggressively cold as what we initially had for Monday. We initially had highs in the mid-20s. We're bumping that up into the mid-30s. A little bit chillier than Sunday, but not as cold as what initially thought. What we do see is kind of a warming trend. If I look at the national blend of models here, going, let's say, to the end of the 8-day forecast, where I think we hit the low to mid 40s probably by Tuesday and Wednesday. And right now, it looks like we're going to be on the dry end of things. There's some hints if I look at the blend here, which is kind of the standard we look at when you want to kind of go beyond the extended here, the next 5 to 7 days. Temperatures do reach into the 50s by Thursday of next week. So that would take us into, the start of March. March 1st is on Tuesday. So this would take us into the 3rd, 50 degrees, 53 by Friday, and then kind of falling back to around 50 on Saturday. But that would be well above average. We start off the month of March, usually with highs typically into the low and middle 40s when you get into the southern part of the state. So again, may start kind of continuing to be a bit on the active side as we've got several waves. And again, no surprise when you start getting these fluctuation in temperatures, you're going to have a lot of back and forth. So there's still a lot of winter left in play. We'll keep an eye on that. Doesn't look like we're going to have a significant bump in temperatures, nothing 60 range, but 50s will be nice if we can open the month of March up that way. So we'll keep you updated. Thanks for joining us again on this Snow Talk version of Weather Weekly. We'll see if we have another one here coming in with this next system that'll be writing in for your Thursday. But we certainly appreciate your time listening to the podcast. If you like the podcast, make sure you give it a like and a rating. We always want your suggestions as well on quieter weeks. We typically like to talk weather subjects, have some interviews, things like that. So if you have anything that you would be sparking your interest, you have a question about weather, I'd love to address that. You can email me anytime. Marcus.Bailey@wishtv.com. You can reach out on social media as well. Marcus Bailey on Twitter and Marcus Bailey Weather both on Instagram and on Facebook as well. While you're here, make sure you check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.